BJ's is known for buying big, and we always assume buying big saves us money. But is it really true? I'm putting BJ's up against Wegmans, a store you go to for quality and variety, not bargains. I'm going to compare beef, chicken, salmon, and eggs to see who really gives you better value. The results are more interesting than I expected, and they might change how you shop. Alright, let's talk about beef. This is the part where your grocery budget either stays on track or goes off a cliff. Ground beef is the ultimate weeknight staple. Burgers, nachos, tacos, you name it. At Wegmans, a small 1 pound pack of 90% lean is $7.30. But they have a secret weapon, the family pack. It's usually over 5 pounds. It is so heavy that I could barely lift it with one hand. And the price drops to $5.80 a pound. Now, if you're like me and prefer grass-fed ground beef, Wegmans is surprisingly reasonable. I go for grass-fed because it's generally leaner, higher in omega-3s, and usually has fewer antibiotics. The 85% lean is $8 a pound for a single pack. The 93% lean comes in a 3-pack at $8.33 a pound. Or you can just grab one pack, though it costs a little bit more. Usually the leaner the meat, the higher the price. Now let's look at BJ's. You would think the wholesale club would crush those prices, right? Well, prepare to be underwhelmed. Their big 4-pound pack of 90% lean is $6 a pound, and that's actually 20 cents more than Wegmans family pack. Bummer. For the organic grass-fed options, BJ's claws back a little bit of ground. Their 85% lean is at $7.70 a pound, and that's slightly better than Wegmans. For the 93% lean is at $8.33 a pound, exactly the same as Wegmans. For ground beef, it's a total tie. My advice, don't pay for membership just for the ground beef. If ground beef is for Tuesday, these cuts are for Sunday. And we're talking about the workhorse meats, chuck, round, and stew beef. And these are tougher muscles that need time, but they're incredibly budget friendly. At Wegmans, your chuck roast is $8 a pound, and your standard USDA stew beef is $10 a pound. The big family pack stew beef is $9 a pound and only $1 cheaper. If you want to upgrade to 100% grass-fed stew beef, Wegmans does have it, but it's a big jump, hitting $20 a pound. For the slow cooker fan, BJ's is a gold mine. The stew beef is $5.80 a pound. You can also grab a top round roast for $7 a pound, or their round bottom steak for just $6. But don't throw that bottom round on the grill. It's very lean and tough. If you treat it like a ribeye, it's going to taste like a grilled work boot. But if you braise it in slow cooker, it's a budget miracle. Speaking of stew, BJ's offers 100% grass-fed stew meat for $11 a pound, and that is nearly half the price of Wegmans' grass-fed version. Finally, the high-stakes steaks. This is where the price gap turns into a canyon. We're moving from the shoulder and leg to the loin, and those are the premium tender cuts. Wegmans has incredible variety, and you pay for it. Their USDA choice strip is $15 a pound, but if you're willing to grab the 4-pack, it drops to $12 a pound. Not bad. Ribeye sits near the top tier of steaks. Just look at that marbling. Beautiful. It is $19 a pound. But if you want the 100% grass-fed, now you're in the premium territory. Sirloin jumps to $32 a pound, and the ribeye, a whopping $44. Oof, that hurts.
Oh,
Why so expensive? Wegmans really leans in with their specialty sourcing. They partner with over 80 local family farms in the Northeast United States. So you're supporting the local economy with that premium price tag. Here is where BJ's fights back. Their sirloin petite steak is $10 a pound. The strip steak is $11.50 a pound, a bit cheaper compared to Wegmans family pack. You can get 100% grass-fed sirloin or strip steaks for around $19 a pound, and they're catching up fast with grass-fed options. I'm seeing Vert and pre-brands. Any catch? Yes, it's sourcing. Unlike Wegmans local farms, BJ's brands source from both North America and other countries like Australia, New Zealand, or Uruguay. Because they operate on a massive global scale, they can offer you a grass-fed strip steak for $19, while Wegmans is charging double for local. So if your main goal is staying budget-friendly, BJ's wins the price war by a landslide, especially for grass-fed beef. If you prioritize local sourcing and a wide variety of specialized cuts, Wegmans delivers that experience. You decide what matters most. If you thought the beef aisle was tricky, welcome to the chicken section. Wegmans has no shortage of options here. Drumsticks, breasts, thighs, legs, even whole birds. If you're meal prepping on a budget, their family pack chicken breasts are $2.50 a pound. These are your stand-up birds with less than 2% retained water. Retained water adds weight, so lower numbers mean you're getting more real meat. The family pack thighs follow at $3 a pound with less than 5% retained water. Also pretty good. But then there is the 100% air-chilled section. Most chicken is cooled in giant water tanks, and the meat soaks up water like a sponge. Air-chilled chicken is cooled with cold air instead, with no retained water. That means better texture and crispier skin when you cook it. And these are also antibiotic-free. These breasts are $6 a pound, or $4.80 if you buy the 3-pound pack. The thighs are $3.60 in a larger pack. As you'd expect, Wegmans is a strong organic selection. Everything is also 100% air-chilled. At $7.20 a pound, the bone-in breasts are not cheap, but the bone protects the meat from drying out during cooking. Organic party wings come in at $6.50 a pound. Over at BJ's, the selection is also surprisingly good. They have popular brands like Purdue, and they even started carrying organic options. You will see that same $2.50 price for boneless breasts and think it's a match. But let's check the fine print. These are enhanced with up to 15% chicken broth, and that means in a 5-pound pack, you're paying for nearly a pound of salty water. And when these hit the pan, they're going to shrink significantly. If you want to avoid that extra water, BJ's carries Purdue chicken breasts at $3.30 a pound. No antibiotics and much lower added water. Thighs follow a similar pattern. Standard boneless thighs are $2.90 a pound, while Purdue small packs are around $3.20 a pound. Wait, you say it's small? Yes, small. It's like a baby compared to the 10-pound thigh pack. I had to triple check the label. Only $1.50 a pound. That's serious savings if you've got the freezer space. I also spotted a new brand called Farm Focus. They have organic, free-range options. The party wings sell for $4 a pound. Finding organic wings at that price is almost unheard of at a traditional grocery store. Their organic, boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $6 a pound. Ooh, look at this! Raised on US farms, no antibiotics, and no hormones. That's very nice. Here's my takeaway on chicken. Wegmans wins for everyday chicken because of less water and more actual chicken. If you want, air chilled is an upgrade. But BJ's takes the price on organic pricing. And that bulk Purdue thigh pack, not organic, but big value. Let's go to the seafood section, and more specifically, salmon. The prices vary wildly, but it usually comes down to how the fish was raised and where it came from. If you're sticking with the basics, their Atlantic salmon from Canada or Norway starts at $14 a pound for a small pack. And here's a quick tip. Grab the family pack, and that price drops to $12 a pound, a $2 savings just for buying in bulk. Want something raised closer to home? They carry American salmon from Wisconsin at $18 a pound, a great option if you prefer US sourced seafood. They offer organic Norwegian salmon at $20 a pound, and at the top end, wild caught Alaskan salmon at $22 a pound. Look at that beautiful color! And just keep in mind, wild salmon is leaner and cooks faster than farmed, so don't walk away from the pan. BJ's doesn't have the same range as Wegmans, but they hit hard on value. Their Canadian Atlantic salmon is just $10.50 a pound, even cheaper than Wegmans family pack. For a small step up, they offer Norwegian salmon at $13 a pound, and this one's labeled antibiotic free, which is very nice at this price point. And the winner of this round goes to BJ's. It gives you the best bang for your buck on everyday salmon. Wegmans still has better selection with more sourcing and wild-caught options. Eggs are tricky to compare. You have cage-free, organic, pasture-raised, blah blah blah, and then all different sizes. Oh, they don't always tell you the weight. To make this fair, I've normalized everything to the price per 100 eggs. Wegmans has a wide range. At the budget end, their cage-free white eggs are $5.50 for 18 count, which comes out to $30.50 per 100 eggs. Step up to organic cage-free eggs, and you're looking at $5.50 for a dozen. That's about $46 per 100. If you want pasture-raised, Wegmans' own organic line at $7.40 per dozen, or about $62 per 100 eggs, the most expensive of the bunch. They also have Pete and Jerry's organic eggs this time. It's my go-to brand. The regular price is $6.50 per dozen, or about $54 for 100 count. They go on sale sometimes, which helps a lot. BJ's has a strong lineup in this category, with familiar names like Eggland's Best and Pete and Jerry's, where BJ's really separates itself as value. Their Wellesley Farms cage-free white eggs come in at 5 dozen for $9.50, or about $16 per 100 count. That is hard to touch anywhere else. Even the cage-free brown eggs stay competitive at roughly $24 per 100, still well below Wegmans. Even premium brands are cheaper here. Pete and Jerry's organic eggs are $9 for 18 count, or $50 per 100. That is $4 cheaper than Wegmans. And their pasture-raised Pete and Jerry's lands in the low 50s per 100, which is reasonable for that category. And that is what I buy at BJ's. It has the best balance for me between quality and price. Wegmans offers solid options, but BJ's wins across the board. Their prices are consistently lower, and they cover the full range from budget picks to mid-tier brands, all the way up to organic and pasture-raised options. For both variety and value, BJ's comes out on top. So far, here's what surprised me. Bulk can mean lower prices, but it doesn't guarantee BJ's is cheaper. That warehouse club advantage can disappear when Wegmans offers family packs. That's why this isn't sweep. We've seen clear wings, split decisions, and ground beef was a tie. And it also helped me understand why some items cost more, especially when you're paying for things like local sourcing. In the next video, we'll take the same test to dairy, produce, pantry staples, and snacks. If you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe, and I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.